Hey, hey, Soul Tribe, Mel, Intuitive Coach here. Excited to bring in your weekly collective for the week of Monday, November 17th through Sunday, November 23rd. Now, this week we are wrapping up Scorpio season with a new moon. Mercury retrograde is shifting signs, and by the end of the week, the sun moves into Sagittarius, giving things a bit of a lighter and more optimistic feel. So let's open up the energy field here and take a look at what the week ahead has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, self-love. Self-love is so powerful because when we are truly honoring our soul's growth, meaning we are willing to step out of our comfort zone, that's when change happens. That's when we evolve. And I feel like you are choosing here to really understand yourself on a deeper level. You are starting to really get in touch with you, your feelings, your thoughts, and you are treating yourself like you would a best friend, or at least that's how Spirit wants you to start treating yourself. This is extreme self-care for many of you. You are in the midst of a healing phase here, and I feel like you are going within this week. But by doing so, it's allowing you to shift into a new perspective. So that new moon coming up here is a big one because you're starting to take baby steps towards confidence here. Confidence in your body, confidence in your career, in your relationships, and it feels like you are opening up that heart space here. So heart chakra activation, heart chakra awakening coming through. I feel like you are falling in love with life because you are taking a look at something deep within you, and it feels like you have been reassessing it. Maybe this is a belief system, a self-sabotaging behavior, or a part of yourself that you've struggled with at times, and it has reflected out into the outer world as maybe a troubled relationship dynamic, or it's been a feeling of being stuck in your career. It could even be physical symptoms that have shown up in your body. So it really feels like you are bringing this gentle touch to the mix this week, which is wonderful because we still have Mercury in retrograde, which is helping us reassess and kind of reset in order for us to really flow into the Sagittarian energy coming up here. And I see that you are romancing life, right? That's what I'm getting is romancing life and really starting to fall in love with what you're doing, who you are, the people you surround yourself with. You're starting to share your time and your care more with the people and the things that you love. I feel like this is a strong lover's energy coming through here as well as the Ace of Cups. So let's take a look at Monday, November 17th. Soul lessons. When soul lessons comes up, this is like the judgment card in tarot where you are undergoing a spiritual rebirth, which judgment also connects to Scorpio energy. And we are still in Scorpio season this Monday, the 17th. And this is about self-awareness, as I was just mentioning here. But it's about you living and leading a life that feels like you are in alignment with your values, in alignment with your beliefs and your integrity, because that's what our purpose is. It's not something outside of you. Oftentimes we think that our job is our purpose, or we think that, our family is. And yes, those are branches of our belief system, our values, our integrity, but truly living a life of purpose means that you are honest with yourself. And it can be difficult because sometimes we want to turn a blind eye to some of those struggles, challenges, or pieces of ourselves that show up as shadow. And I see that you have gone through a lot of karmic lessons here, but many of you are stepping into the Hierophant energy, right? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So you could now be that teacher energy where you have some very valuable lessons that you can pass down. Perhaps you're passing these lessons down to your children if you have them. These could be your clients, or perhaps you are wanting to start a business, or you are a healer and you're being called to share your voice in some way. Maybe you are wanting to write a book about your past here, or you want to take a new class to enhance your skills. I see that you are in a position this Monday to really learn, really assess, and really grow. You have come so far on your journey here, Soul Tribe. For one, pat yourself on the back. And two, slow down a little bit this Monday. Oftentimes, Mondays can be very hectic. It's the start of a new week. And I feel like you are checking in with yourself, and you may even have a new routine, or you're seeing things again from a new perspective that kind of allow your nervous system to feel more settled instead of feeling like you are walking on eggshells, or feeling like anxiety or fight or flight is returning or coming to the surface here. So there may be some teachable moments this Monday. Use them wisely. And if you are taking a class, if you are teaching a class, or this is something that you're wanting to do, it feels like the energy is strong this Monday. Now, if you work in the corporate world, there may be some powerful moments here where you are being asked to observe before you react, because not everybody around you is on the same wavelength. They're not on the same page, and that can cause a lot of frustrations. But when you have strength here, this tells me that there's nothing you cannot get through, but it's important for you, again, to stand in your own truth and observe. Be the witness here before you respond to a situation, because you may be dealing with specific people in your life or in your career that at times tend to trigger you, or there may be opposing views or a bit of adversity. I am being shown here the 5 of Wands. So it does feel like there is a tad bit of competition, but you don't have to get swept away in, the backhanded comments or, the projections. However, if this is some form of constructive criticism, going back to the Judgment, this is a really beautiful, opportune moment to, rise up. You have a second chance here to let go of something in the past that maybe it wasn't up to, I don't want to say up to a standard, but it wasn't what you had hoped, right? And you felt a bit restless, or you felt dissatisfied. And now you are being gifted this second chance, or this opportunity to try something from a new angle or respond in a new way. And that's going to change the outcome here. So moving into Tuesday, I love this. We actually have the second chance card. And again, connecting with that Judgment energy. This is all about do-overs. And on Tuesday, November 18th, Mercury retrograde enters the sign of Scorpio, which shifts conversations and thoughts into a bit of a deeper territory here. You may even find old topics resurfacing, unresolved issues may be coming back up, or emotions that you've brushed off, right? They may come up and ask for a little bit of attention, and that's okay, because this is really connected strongly with that retrograde energy. So this is a good time to look beneath the surface. And as I've said, get honest with yourself, review situations that need clarity. So this is a practical day for double checking messages, tying up loose ends, and really allowing yourself to slow down before making decisions. Keep that communication straightforward today. Give yourself space to process anything that feels heavier and more personal. Now, I am getting here a message of contracts or contractual agreements. This could also be soul contracts. And because we have the word karma, it almost feels like you have broken the tie of some sort of karmic contract, meaning you have learned the lessons, and now you are evaluating them. Now you are coming to a point where you're saying, okay, wow, I've cut the cord here, or I've broken away from this ancestral loop, or a relationship loop, or something within your career that felt like you had to learn it through a lot of hardship here. And I see that there is a bit of a clean slate, right? a beautiful slate that's coming in here for you, especially around perhaps your material world. For some of you, you have finances coming through here as well. So this is a new offer, something better coming in for you. Now, if you were feeling restless or dissatisfied in your relationships, this is a really powerful retrograde, especially in Scorpio, to kind of get to the deeper energies that need to come up that may have been suppressed or hidden, or there may have been some form of denial. But I do see that this is bubbling up to help you. So honor it, because oftentimes when those heavier emotions rise to the surface, or some of those deeper feelings come up, whether this is in your career, whether this is in your relationship, we feel like we're unprepared, like we don't know what to do with these energies. But this is a beautiful time to trust. You have the word trust here. And that can be difficult, especially if there's been betrayal, but you have something better coming in here. So remember that, okay? Now on Wednesday, November 19th, you have finances. So this is a big day for, creative momentum building. It could even be a good day to have that conversation with your boss, especially if you have been reassessing what's been going on here. A lot of you have been going through mergers, or there's been new systems in place here at your work, or if you are an entrepreneur, you've been looking at ways to increase your flow of abundance. So this is about your assets. It's about fortune. I'm getting Wheel of Fortune here for you, mixed with a little bit of Ace of Pentacles here. So it feels like there is a new opportunity coming through to the surface here. Something that's real, something that's tangible. So it certainly could be a new income source. There may be talk of investments this Wednesday. This is a big day for you to, focus on your abundance. And for those of you that may be unemployed, or if you are retired, it feels like there are some energies that are shifting here for you that actually come through in a favorable way. So even if you are feeling a bit stressed out over finances, it feels like you have an idea that not only can bring in income, but you also have the momentum to continue taking steps towards bringing this to life and to stay consistent with this as well. If you are applying for a new job this Wednesday, it feels like there's good momentum behind it. If, again, you are connecting with a boss or communicating your ideas with other people, it just feels like it's being met in a powerful way where your voice, your throat chakra is activated. And it feels like you are gaining the respect that you need, or you're about to, because you're shifting energies here. So if, for example, you are in an environment where you are not being respected, or you're being taken advantage of, or it just feels like there's been a lot of unknowns around this situation here, this is a day where you are understanding more. There could even be something in the woodworks that shows up and you're like, oh, okay, that's why there was a budget cut, or that's where this new boss or this new management structure comes in. It feels like you are getting to the nitty gritty. You understand something, but that also puts you in a favorable position to be able to make a new choice or make a new decision here. So moving into Thursday, November 20th. This is a beautiful new moon on the 20th here. The new moon in Scorpio is a solid reset point. And the fact that you have intuition here is connected directly to that Scorpio energy, right? It brings a chance to start fresh, but in a very grounded and realistic way, but also tuning into that intuitive awareness, because this energy can feel intense. It can feel quite emotional, but it's also productive, right? So it's helping you notice what needs changing or what needs releasing so that you can move forward in a clean slate, right? Moving forward instead of feeling like there's still a lot of debris that's coming along with you. It's like, all right, I want a clean slate. I don't want to carry all of this heaviness, all of this baggage with me. Think of 10 of Wands energy, where if you've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, this is powerful, because with Mercury retrograde involved, You are being guided not to rush into decisions. Use your internal navigational system here. Use this day to reflect, journal if you're able to, or think through your next steps. This would be a great day to set simple, achievable intentions that focus on personal growth, maybe even a bit of emotional balance here, or letting go of some old patterns that have been running the show unconsciously, right? This new moon is all about getting real with yourself and really starting from a more honest place, which really feels like a key theme. I'm surprised we don't have the honest card showing up here, but it feels like this is something you are living and leading, is through your, through your instincts here, through your awareness, even meditating today. And if you are busy, if it's a highly productive day, as I've mentioned, make sure that you are checking in with you. If you're in an office space, can you close the door for 20 minutes and just reset? Maybe even listen to some uplifting music. If you can get out in nature, go for a walk. Or if you work from home, make sure that you are moving your body, moving through any stuck energies that are wanting to be released. Okay, so powerful time, this new moon. Now moving into Friday, November 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius. What a beautiful energy here to represent Sag, the great outdoors. So once the sun moves into Sagittarius, the tone shifts. Now the great outdoors also connects to sun energy, right? Because when we're out in the sun, when we're outside, we're out in the sun, but things are feeling lighter, right? More open, easier to navigate, which you can see that, she's in an open environment here. She's navigating through her means of choice, kayaking here. So it feels like you are aligning with what works best for you. Think chariot energy. It's you finding your focus and moving towards success in whatever way aligns with your morals, your belief system, your values. So Scorpio season brings in depth where Sag season brings in that perspective. So this is a good time to think ahead, explore new ideas, consider opportunities that broaden your horizon, possibly travel as well. So the insights that you gained over the past few weeks really start to make sense in a bigger picture here. So let yourself look forward again, right? Move into that forward thinking. Think about what's next. This energy supports learning, all right? It supports planning and taking practical steps towards your future goals. And you may even be relocating, perhaps moving. I do feel travel coming in strongly as well, but many of you are wanting to ground yourself this Friday, and that could even be done by getting outside if you're able to, or maybe you are wanting to make a good homemade meal with root vegetables. This is your carrots, your potatoes. I am getting a hearty type of energy here, but I'm also getting expansive. So if you are going out to eat this Friday, it could be a good time to try something that you've never tried on the menu before. This would be a wonderful time to, go to a class and spark up a conversation with someone that you haven't spoken with before, because this could be a lifelong friend or perhaps a new companion that is meant to be a part of your life. Pay attention to synchronistic meetings here, serendipitous moments showing up this Friday, because I feel like there's this spark of magic that wants to make its presence known here, and you are going to feel it. Now, on the same note here, you may also feel like you want some time to yourself after a long week, because it feels like this month has been flying by, doesn't it? And you may feel quite productive. There's also a lot of energy changes, but at the same time, Friday may come up and you're like, Mel, I just want to rest, right? I just want to stay, at home, and I kind of want to veg and just do my thing and get some space from everyone else, and that's okay too. Whatever you are needing to do to create a little bit of space this Friday, honor it, right? Honor it, because Sag is also bringing in a perspective shift. So you may be starting to see things in a different way that is actually quite beneficial for your growth. And if you are working this Friday, I feel like there is maybe a taking off early if you're able to, or getting your work done a little bit earlier so you can unplug. I also am getting here like a bubble bath or spending time in or near water. As you can see that she is on the water there. You may also be prepping or planning for a cruise or a vacation near a body of water. And if you live on a lake, or if you live on the ocean or near a body of water, you might start feeling these energies quite, intensely, especially with that new moon in Scorpio. So honor what is coming through for you. And again, keep that journal with you and journal when you need to, because I feel like there's a lot that you are unpacking. And by journaling, you can kind of physically get it out onto paper. And that can be very cathartic, very healing. And if you are not a journaler, that's okay. Make sure that you are channeling some of those emotions into, other avenues, perhaps moving your body and maybe doing some light exercising or going for a walk, or even spending some time petting and loving up on your animals if you have them. So connecting to nature, getting in tune with Mother Gaia, right? Coming back down to earth here this Friday, but at the same time allowing yourself to expand. So there's a beautiful balance coming through. Now on Saturday, we have the inner child. Is there a birthday coming through here, Soul Tribe? Some of you may have children. Maybe these are adult children. This could be your own birthday as well. It feels like there's a celebratory event, or it could be that Saturday there's a lot of joy coming through. You may be attending an event that brings a smile to your face. Maybe this is a comedy show. Perhaps you are going mini golfing, or you could even be staying at home and you watch a show that really brings you back. Maybe it's a show from the 90s, or it's a TV show that reminds you of something that happened in your childhood. There is a lot of happiness, though, around this inner child. So it tells me that your nervous system feels calm this Saturday, which is beautiful. Who doesn't want a calm nervous system, right? And we have the word magic coming through. And I was picking up on that magician vibe earlier, where it wasn't quite here yet, but now I know why, because it feels like it's making its presence known more on Saturday, where you may be guided to share your superpowers with the world this Saturday and to connect with the people that you love. Share your time and your care with them, just like we talked about here with self-love at the bottom of the deck. Now, this is laughter. This is play. This is family time. It's also about you asking your own inner child this Saturday, what do you need? What does little him or her need today? What do you want to do? Instead of feeling stressed out, instead of feeling like you're walking on eggshells, this is a wonderful day to reconnect to that part of yourself that sometimes we tend to kind of push aside as responsibilities take over. So whatever you're doing this Saturday, it feels like you're doing it with a smile on your face. And if you are working, it feels like there's this magic that is showing up here. You're guided to speak up. I'm getting communication, especially with that magician energy. Is an excellent communicator, very talented, a lot of skills. And I see that you're feeling very energized and you may get a lot done. Perhaps you're wanting to clean your house. I remember as a young child, as a young girl, something that I always did was I would clean my room all the time. And that was also a part of my own little space where I felt in control, and I felt if it was clean and organized, no matter if the rest of the world outside me was hectic or chaotic, at least I felt organized and safe and clean in that small confinement of the home, right? So you may be called to maybe declutter, even if that is enjoyable for you, right? Maybe it's a feeling of, okay, this feels good to get this out of the house, or it feels good to get this task done. So it feels like you may even be mixing up a little bit of productivity with a whole lot of fun. So maybe there's more of a focus towards that fun piece. And there could even be a gift involved. You could be gifting someone else. They may be gifting you. It doesn't have to be for a birthday per se, but it does feel like there's, a really beautiful energy of that solar plexus coming through, our powerhouse, confidence. You are feeling confident today to maybe even try something that you haven't tried before. And on Sunday, November 23rd, we have body talk. So beautiful that the undercurrent is self-love, and Sunday energy here is, love yourself. This is a day of exercise, mental health, reading a good book, maybe getting a good chakra healing, or if you are an energy healer or a light worker, maybe you are doing some work on yourself. This is about you falling in love again, as I said, with life and with yourself, and honoring who you are, who you've become, and even the parts of yourself that are difficult and challenging, because we all have those parts of ourselves that we struggle with, whether this is body image, perhaps you've been working on maybe your weight loss journey, or some of you have been working on strength training or getting more toned, or perhaps You've been wanting to learn a new skill. If you've been feeling a bit of brain fog lately, or if you've been feeling confused, it feels like you are activating something deep within you that says, okay, I want to feel better on all levels, right? Body, mind, and spirit. Think of temperance here, right? You want to really make the choices that are good for your body, good for your mind. And this is a great day of allowing yourself a little more TLC, allowing yourself to be patient, right? Patient with yourself, patient with others, but really focusing on the things that are healthy. So there's this healthy energy coming in on Sunday, where you may even be meal prepping for the week ahead, or you're getting outside, you are breathing in the fresh air. Some of you may even have a new breath work routine that you're doing, or again, as I've mentioned, journaling. Maybe you're dancing. There could be a fun fitness class, a dance class, a yoga class that you are attending. Whatever self-care looks like for you, whatever it means to love up on you. Maybe it means that you want to eat, a bowl of ice cream and binge watch Friends for a few hours. Whatever this is about you talking to your body, connecting with your body, instead of feeling like the body and the mind are separate or are on two separate pages. And then what happens is there's guilt, there's disconnect. We don't truly know what we want. We can't understand when we're feeling a certain way, or physical symptoms are showing up. So overall, this is alignment. This is alignment. So you are realigning your energies this week. And by Sunday, it just feels like you are way more in touch with yourself than perhaps you've been in a while. And it feels good. Look at all of these beautiful women of all walks of life coming together, and they have smiles on their faces. Right? They're not worried about their shape, their size, their color. They're not worried about, anything but the pure joy of being in this blissful moment. And it feels like that's the energy that Sunday holds if you allow it. If you raise your vibration, if you open up to this portal of abundance, this portal of flow, this is what's coming through. You may even be connecting with, a friend group this Sunday. Perhaps you are connecting online, in person, but overall, it really feels like you're coming into a space where there's a deeper understanding and awareness. If some of your chakras are imbalanced, you're like, okay, all right, I understand. I'm getting the message. I'm getting the sign. So it feels like when you are in tune of what's going on, especially within your body, you're able to address it. You're able to consciously choose to interrupt any patterns that are trying to sabotage you. So that is what I have for the week ahead, Soul Tribe. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And I look forward to tuning in next week.